Hello, everybody, and welcome to It's in Queens, the It's in Queens podcast that's covering events from August 2nd through August 8th. We are at a different location. We're outside of the hidden bunker.
That's right.
And in case you can't tell, we're in front of the Unisphere.
Am I holding it up?
I'm always Rob Mackay from the Queens Tourism Council. And while we stand here, planes will be going above. Hopefully they're bringing tourists to the borough who will spend money at all of our wonderful events.
You can tell the U.S. Open's not in session yet because the planes are still going over.
The U.S. Open, right, it's coming, though.
Right.
To my right is Chris Donovan, as
hey,
always.
Everybody.
From the Queen. Well, what are you from today?
Today I'm from the Daily News.
Today he's from the Daily News. A co-producer of our podcast. On this side, you guys can't see it, but the Queens Museum is on this side.
I assure you it's there. I'm going to second that, so that way we know.
Yes, I would not joke
Two
about
people
something
wouldn't lie
as
about
that.
that.
Did you know that the Queens Museum, right after the World's Fair, the Queens Museum was where they held the League of Nations, which became the United Nations?
I did not know that.
Yes.
I remember the Queens Museum being an ice skating rink.
I remember that, too.
Yeah.
I remember that. Some of the biggest decisions of the 1950s took place in that building.
Did they avoid the Cuban Missile Crisis there, or was that too late?
Not the Cuban Missile Crisis, but the founding of Israel,
okay.
Palestine, the South Korea, North Korea, the demilitarized zone,
yep.
And the Pakistan-India thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so
there were some big decisions over there.
Right over there. Major big decisions.
I will tell you another major decision that I led my cousins, we were all about 10 years old at the time, back to the 7 train from the ice skating rink. It was my own guidance that got them there. We were lost in the park at one point.
That's good.
That's what I'm trying to say.
At age 10, and that was before Google Maps.
Way before Google Maps.
What did I want to say? Oh, so what are your memories of the ice rink?
It was just fantastic. You could rent the double blade skates if you were a bad skater. That was a big get. I think it had a Pac-Man game at some point.
I think you might be right.
But it was a good time. You know, we hit it up quite a bit.
My memories are there are a lot of people who were from countries that didn't have ice.
Oh, good
like
point.
India and South America.
That's very true.
No one knew how to skate.
No.
So they would all just grab onto the side, and the entire ring.
You could not get an inch of wall.
You could not get any wall over there.
No.
People were falling all the time. And, hey, let's face facts. At times I was falling, and at times I was grabbing onto the side.
Absolutely.
But anyway, those are some good times.
Good times.
Anyway, it's now the Queens Museum. And we have a lot of stuff to go to talk about this week.
Good. Let's get into it.
It's almost like a festival of festivals.
No kidding.
Yeah, we have a bunch of festivals. The first one is something that's really sort of near and dear to my heart because I'm friends with the organizer. It's the In Situ Site-Specific Dance Festival. Do you remember it last year?
I don't remember.
Last year was the inaugural year.
Okay.
What happens is it takes place in 4 spots along the Long Island City shorefront, which is to say Hunters Point, and then the field, Gantry, Queensbridge Park, and Socrates Sculpture Park.
Nice.
And it runs dance. There are 144 different dance companies or dances that they're going to perform. And it's moving, which is to say one of them starts at 9 down Hunters Point, and then 9:15 across, and 9:30.
Oh, like they're staggered uptown.
So you can actually walk across and see all of the shows.
I love that.
Or you can sit there and just watch one as it goes on. And then you could move to another place and watch it as it goes on because it's both Saturday and Sunday.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's totally cool. Last year was the inaugural one. The woman who runs it is a dancer named Svea Schneider.
Okay.
Guess where Svea Schneider is from?
How do you say the first name again?
Svea.
So she's from Sweden.
No, Schneider.
And then she's from Israel.
No. I believe her mother's name is Hildegard.
Germany.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
I should have just said Europe and just been done with it.
Yeah, right. Svea is absolutely on the ball, and she put this thing together last year. This year it's getting some pretty good media attention. It was in the New York Times. It was on New York One.
Nice.
So I think they're going to have a really good attendance.
And now it's on the It's in Queens podcast.
Now it's on the It's in Queens podcast.
Which that boost will probably put them over the top. I would probably tell the police to have extra police presence down there for the hordes that we're going to bring.
And the other thing is that you can take a ferry across from Manhattan to Long Island City, watch all the shows, and then you can actually take a ferry back from Socrates Sculpture Park because they now have a ferry landing in Astoria.
Look at that.
So, and you can do it Saturday and Sunday. It's just tremendous.
Your day is planned out via Rob Mackay.
And it is inspiring. Some of these troops, some of these dance troops come from as far away as Senegal.
No kidding.
Yeah. And they all have really, really awe-inspiring dance moves.
That's pretty cool.
So again, that's In Situ, an In Situ dance festival. I think In Situ, does that mean on site in Latin?
You know, I would say yes.
In situ. It means something in Latin that I think
definitely
goes
studied
along
Latin
with.
for like 5 minutes in high school, so I would say
Right.
yes.
Okay. So the other great festival we talked about last week when we had our the organizer,
special guest,
the Kew Gardens Festival of Cinema. That kicks off in earnest on August 3rd.
Right.
And again, that's going to run from August 3rd to August 12th. And it's 110 movies, I believe.
That's a nice number.
So you've got
it's a robust festival.
You've got 144 dances at the In Situ and 110 movies at the Kew Gardens Festival of Cinema. And again, this is everything from features to documentaries to shorts to animations to music videos to web series to whatever else I'm missing.
Yeah. He had a little. You covered animation. Right? He had a little bit of animation.
He has a little bit of animation and a couple of Queens filmmakers.
You know what, Queens will always give you both quality and quantity.
That's right. We have quality and quantity.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at the Queens Museum because that's actually where a lot of these movies are going to show.
That's right.
The other place is the Midway Theater on Forest Hills, right on Queens Boulevard.
Right off Continental.
As you know, it's called the Kew Gardens Festival of Cinema because last year it took place at the Indie Movie Theater in Kew Gardens.
Right.
This year they moved out, but they're still holding a lot of networking nights and trivia nights and other things.
Yeah, and they're going to do something at Austin Ale House, which is right in Kew Gardens.
Which is in Kew Gardens.
Right off Lefferts.
So it's still staying true to its name.
That's right.
You know what else I love is the Muppets.
Oh, come on. Who doesn't love a Muppet?
Did you know that the Muppets they sleep in Queens?
Yes, in the Museum of the Moving Image, right?
Well, actually, they're actually, I hate to break your bubble, but they're actually like 100 Kermits and 100 Snuffleupaguses. And the actual puppet, they sleep. They're in a building in Long Island City, Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but you're right. The ongoing exhibition.
Thanks for ruining the illusion, Rob.
The ongoing exhibition of the Muppets is always at
Museum of the
Moving Image, and they do a lot of shows. They're doing.
I feel like the Muppets kind of made the Museum of the Moving Image. They they showed up. That's when they really kicked in their programming. I remember, in the 80s and 90s.
Well, Jim Henson has been very good to and I believe
absolutely.
Jim Henson's daughter is on the board.
There you go. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
And remember, the Muppets they filmed right next door at Kaufman Astoria Studios.
Yep.
But there are a couple from my childhood. There are a couple of sort of iconic Muppet shows.
Sure.
One of them was when there was actual Muppet named Muppy, and he became a diva, and he demanded that they change the name to the Muppy Show.
Nice.
But do you remember Rita Moreno when she was on the show?
Rita Moreno, yes.
She actually won an Emmy for her appearance.
No kidding.
Yeah, and do you remember when Julia Andrews was on the show?
Julie Andrews, right?
Julie
from The Sound of Music?
From The Sound of Music.
Sure.
Okay. So what they've done is they put together a family-friendly children's movie which combines the two.
Okay, cool.
I guess you would call it a mashup in today's parlance.
You would.
But you can watch the Julie Andrews one. She's like there's a cow backstage and no one knows where it came from, and everyone and the Swedish Fish wants to cook it and eat it. And Gonzo falls in love with it, and I think there's someone else that.
What do Statler and Waldorf do?
Do you remember the Flying Zucchini Brothers?
That came out of the fantastic.
Cannon? Yeah, they want to put the cow in the cannon and shoot it off.
Oh, so they're entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so that's a really funny show. You can watch the two of them, and there's kind of a festival. It's going to show 5 times in a row, which is to say every day at 11 a.m. from August 1st to August 5th.
Nice.
And Rita Moreno, she does she sings a song. I can't remember if it's from West Side Story or not, but she won an Emmy for it.
Okay.
It's very, very good.
She was also an answer on Saturday Night Live's Jeopardy when Christopher guest. They said, give me a spicy little number. And he said, Rita Moreno. There's like 2 people are going to get that, and it's going to be they're going to be laughing though. Oh yeah, she is Puerto Rican. Yeah.
She was Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Or she is Puerto Rican.
She is, still is to this day.
On this Muppet show, I believe she gets in a fight with Animal. An animal bites her, and she takes his cymbals because he was the percussionist.
He was the drummer.
He takes the cymbals and crashes them over his head. So it's a really, really good show. I'm definitely going to try and.
I've seen at least 3 bands with animal painted on the head.
Oh, really?
Drum. Yeah.
He was
a good drummer.
He was a pioneer. The other festivals, I got to stay at Museum of the Moving Image.
Sure.
Because Grace Jones will be there.
Oh, Grace Jones,
Remember Grace Jones?
Absolutely.
She was, I think we talked
Strawn
about
J from Boomerang, if you remember that movie.
I don't remember that movie.
Eddie Murphy was in that.
I think she was Your Love Is My Drug, Addicted to You. Is that her?
Yes.
Anyway, there's a documentary on Grace Jones that they were going to show a couple of weeks ago, but
we talked about it. What happened?
They had an air conditioning problem in the theater,
okay. All right.
so they brought it back.
This is the redo.
Yep, 3 chances to watch the documentary. That would be August 4th twice and August 5th once. And she gave the cameraman complete access to her house, to her backstage before her gigs and everything else.
Yeah, she's an interesting character.
Yeah.
It should be fun to watch.
And I actually went to watch that.
Did you?
And I got there, bought my ticket, went into the movie theater, and it wasn't on. I was like, "What's going on?" I came outside, so they gave me a free 2 passes.
Hey now.
So I can actually go for free and watch this Grace
Jones
you. Thing. So yeah, look at that. There's another huge event in Jamaica called the Jams.
Okay, Jamaica Jams, yeah.
Jamaica Jams. And that's actually what they do is they take they take Jamaica Avenue from Parsons Boulevard to 170th Street, which I believe is about 10 blocks.
Yeah.
And it's a wide street, and they just fill it up with everything you can imagine.
Yeah.
There are all kinds of vendors, food and jewelry and everything else, but they're all
we used to do a booth there every year, the Daily News.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's
Absolutely.
A lot of
really big event.
Really big event with all kinds of performances. Kids
great
perform,
music.
adults perform.
Great
yeah,
music.
There's music all the time.
Yeah.
I know they have people on stilts that perform, right? They have kids, drummers and everything else.
Yes.
That's on Saturday. The night before at Rufus King Park, which is also actually right off Jamaica Avenue.
Yeah, Jamaica on like 149th or something
There's
like
the
that.
Answell opening concert, which is also a lot of fun.
Okay.
This one they pay homage to certain different icons of jazz, R&B, rock, and funk. So they'll probably be doing cover songs.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, of different people. Don't forget that a lot of those icons
artists lived in Queens. Yeah.
For example, James Brown.
Sure.
All right, so then that brings us to 3 walking tours.
Nice.
I figured you were a big walking tour. 2 of them are by our good friend. Actually, no, I'm only going to mention 2 of them right now because the other one starts in more than 7 days.
Oh, we can't talk about it.
Yep, there is the Rockaway Tour.
Okay.
The official Queens historian, Jack Eichenbaum.
The Jack.
Who has that designation
get Jack
as per
on the
Queensborough
podcast, I
president.
think,
We
right?
should.
Yeah.
We'll get him on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. He's doing a walk a sunset walk of Rockaway, and he's done it before. He did it last year. You walk while the sunset. He tells you all about the history of Rockaway, which is both urban and environmental. And of course, it ends at Thai Rock, which is a delicious,
fantastic
Thai restaurant right on the water there in Rockaway. Again, just sort of like the in situ dance festival, you can actually get to that walk via ferry.
If yes.
you want. Yeah. See, the ferry just keeps on popping up.
Yeah.
Now, have you heard of the blog and website Forgotten New York?
Yes.
Guy named Kevin Walsh. Who's
I didn't know it was
historian.
him. Yeah. Okay.
He runs a great sort of history blog on New York City. He also does tours. And he has combined forces with the Greater Astoria Historical Society to offer a walking tour of Corona on August 5th. So that, of course, means the Lemon Ice King.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yep. It means Bocce.
Yeah,
by the Bocce
Bocce Park. Yeah.
You'll check out a lot of old churches and firehouses.
You know, I missed. They used to have a really great place that made their own mozzarella over there.
I think they still have it. Is it Mama's?
No, Mama's is definitely still there. But there was another place next to Parkside that also had.
Il Triangulo?
No, that's gone. That's there as well.
Oh, okay.
It's gone. It's now like a barbershop or something. But he used to make it right in the window. You know, you could kind of see it happening. So.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Well, Mama's makes their own mozzarella too.
I believe it's a mozzarella.
Yeah, they make their own mozzarella.
Yeah.
So other things I would mention is, what is a Victorian garden?
You were asking me or telling me?
Well, actually, that's the name of an event. The Volker Orth Museum, which we happen to love, a historical
we do.
house in Flushing, has a Victorian garden.
All right.
And as we've mentioned...
They better be able to answer that question then.
Yeah. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to have people check out the Victorian garden, talk about what a Victorian garden is, and then they're going to design Victorian garden collages.
I like it.
Yeah. My understanding is that at the museum, the Volker Orth Museum, they don't use any pesticides in their garden. They keep it the same way that people in Victorian times kept their garden.
Okay.
So.
I'm glad medicine doesn't do that.
Now I have a question.
We don't know.
Right. We'll use the 18th century.
We're going to put a leech on it and, and call it a day.
So then I have a question, which is truly a question, although it's also an event. Do you know what a hopazome is? Hopazome. HAPA-ZOME.
No, you got me on that one too.
Ah, okay. Well, I guess it's a form of imprinting natural plant dyes into fabrics with a hammer.
Oh, okay. I've seen this done.
You've seen that done
Yeah,
before?
I've seen that done.
Okay. Well, they're going to do it at the Queen's Botanical Garden on August 5th with a hopazome specialist. Woman named Jess Bray, who works for the agency Dyed in Queens.
Nice.
That's DYED in Queens.
Oh, well, please, I hope so.
All right, other things I would mention is there's an electronic dance music party at the Paper Factory.
Oh, look at that.
Their annual, it's called One Summer Night, and they will go crazy. Games Day at King Manor Museum is when kids come in and they play games with toys that kids used 200 years ago.
Okay.
Yep. And Community Day at Noguchi. Now, Community Day is something they offer, I believe, the first Sunday of the month during the summer, where there are free programs. They teach you how to draw, and they also have an open conversation on one of the sculptures in the gardens that's led by one of the experts.
And Community Day is free, or is it?
Yeah, I believe it's free.
Okay, cool.
It's free. Oh, wait, there is. You see, look at this. I'm wearing my sunglasses and not my reading glasses, and I didn't see that there is a third walk that I forgot to talk about.
Let's get into it.
It is also done by Jack Eichenbaum.
Jack's busy this week.
Yes, and it's August 8th. Well, August 8th, that must be a Wednesday.
A little late.
It is almost 7 days past. It's August 8th, and he's going to take you from the Kingsland Homestead. Now, the Kingsland Homestead is a historical house in Flushing.
Right.
It's also the home of the Queen's Historical Society.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're right.
And the Kingsland Homestead, which has been moved twice, which is to say they actually moved the homestead
Picked up
twice.
the whole building?
He's going to take the crowd on a walk from where it stands now to the other two sites where it once stood and talk about Flushing and the history of Flushing. Where that is, the part of Flushing where that is right now is the Korean town.
Yes.
So he'll be talking a lot about the modern Koreans, and of course, the Kingsland Homestead dates back to British sea merchants, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's kind of fun, too. And that's about it for me.
I got one thing.
We have a bunch of planes going overhead, and I also want to say that I once took my daughters to the Unisphere on last summer over the Saturday, and we had a blast.
Yeah, no, it's
so
a good
fun
time
to go swimming and go get yourself
Absolutely,
wet
get yourself soaked. I have one thing I want to
anyway,
mention
what's
before we
the one thing
leave.
that Chris Donovan wants to mention?
One of my favorite movies from my childhood, E.T., being played in Astoria Park on Monday.
Outdoors?
August 6th. Monday, August 6th, E.T., Astoria Park. Go phone home.
Astoria Park, so at dusk, I guess?
Yes.
On Tuesday?
Yes.
Why'd you like E.T.?
Oh, because he ate Reese's Pieces, which is something I ate. And he
that
drank
was
Coors beer, which is also...
He drank Coors beer?
Yeah, remember that? He got drunk
Silver
on
bullets?
Coors. No, not the silver bullets. The old Coors
the old
cans.
Kind. They didn't have light
They didn't have the silver bullets back then.
All right, well, thank you very much. As always, we like to say that we're just two regular guys
just
talking.
Average Joes.
Everything that
Harry
we say
Lunch Pails.
Can be confirmed or corrected by
or
going
denied.
to itsinqueens.com, which is our website, itsinqueens.com. We have everything going on in the borough up there. Plus, we use the hashtag itsinqueens for our social media.
That's right.
So please catch us there.
And share the podcast with your friends.
We'll leave with one more thing. Chris,
Sure.
I believe that you stayed in Queens this past weekend and had a blast.
I did. I saw a painted sign at the side of the road. And it said 15 miles to the
Love Shack.
That's right. I caught the
last Saturday,
B-52s, Tom Bailey from Thompson Twins, and, of course, your headliner, Boy George and Culture Club at Forest Hill Stadium.
That's right.
And let me tell you something. It's a great place to see a show.
Forest Hill Stadium. They had the B-52s and Boy George last Saturday, and they have a whole other bunch of people coming up.
Yeah,
including
check out
David
their
Byrne
schedule.
From the Talking Heads.
Yeah, David Byrne. The band Cake is coming up.
That's Cake, all capitals.
Willie Nelson's coming up, right? Nelson? Yeah, Van Morrison's coming up.
Van Morrison's been there
I think
before,
they're playing
right?
together, Van Morrison and Willie
really?
Nelson. Yeah.
Okay.
There were a bunch of shows coming up that I wanted to check out.
And it was just fantastic, right? The B-50s?
It was phenomenal. First of all, it's very funny how when you're outside the stadium, you cannot hear the concert. They've soundproofed it so well. Okay. And then as soon as you walk past the sort of sound barrier, you can hear it great. And there's something special about the sun coming down as the concert's being played, and you have the backdrop of the tennis courts. It's a beautiful venue. Yeah, and it's a walk home.
And you can take a subway ride home, or
yeah, it was
great. Take the LIRR too, if you want.
Yeah, no, it was a great time.
All right, so there it is. Thank you all very much, and we hope to see you next week.
Thank you.